The royal children have provided plenty of heartwarming and entertaining moments down the years. George, Charlotte and Louis are very much keeping that tradition alive.
But there are moments on these occasions when all grandmothers look anxious. In their imaginations, the children were already off to a fire.
If you're a member of a royal dynasty, then you probably know quite a lot about your heritage already. You can trace your family tree back centuries, gaze at famous portraits of your grandparents, and read books about your distant ancestors. As for the rest of us, we need to do a little digging to find our special connections from the past. That's why, for this episode, we're entering a paid partnership with MyHeritage. MyHeritage puts over 20 billion historical records at your fingertips. I'm Kim, part of the team behind the Royal Family channel, and I'm going to get started by adding my immediate family members to my tree. Once you've entered some basic details for your parents and grandparents, you're going to start making discoveries very quickly. I soon found that my great-grandfather's sister was 110 when she died. This census record from around 1901 shows that my great-great-grandmother Eliza lived in Rochester and had 8 children, while my great-great-grandfather Ambrose worked as a Coast Guard boatman and naval insurance agent, passing away just before the end of World War I in 1918. Something else I didn't know was that members of my family emigrated from the coast of County Donegal in Ireland to the USA way back in the 1880s, settling in Mississippi and having children there. It's all been fun and very easy to go back in time. There's a feature called Instant Discoveries, which notifies you when the site has found a confident match, and with the click of a button, you can add a whole new branch to your family tree. And another of my favourite tools is this one, which allows you to colorise and enhance your old black and white family photos. Go and sign up for a 14-day free trial with MyHeritage now using the link in the description below.
The military and the monarchy are inextricably intertwined. As the future king, William will also one day be Commander-in-Chief of the British Armed Forces. After graduating from St Andrews University, William embarked on a military career and was admitted to Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in 2006 for a 44-week training course. He was commissioned as an army officer in December that year and joined the Household Cavalry Blues and Royals as a second lieutenant, eventually being promoted to the rank of lieutenant. He then moved from the army to complete attachments with the two other branches of the armed forces, the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. An interest in flying saw him train as a search and rescue helicopter pilot with the RAF in 2009, graduating in September 2010.
The last of our ab initio pilots ever. I think you've done something to the system.
Flight Lieutenant Wales, as he was known, was based at RAF Valley in Anglesey, where William and Catherine had their first home as a newly married couple, and where Prince George spent the first few months of his life. William's ties to the military continue in ceremonial roles. As Duke of Cambridge, he was regimental colonel of the Irish Guards. Following Queen Elizabeth II's death in 2022, William succeeded his father Charles as Prince of Wales and took on the role of regimental colonel of the Welsh Guards, with Catherine taking William's former position as colonel of the Irish Guards. In 2024, King Charles handed over the role of Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps to the Prince of Wales, with William departing the aviation centre in an Apache helicopter. William joins his father for the annual Trooping the Colour ceremony at Horse Guards Parade, a royal birthday tradition where he will one day take the salute as king. William and Catherine have also represented the UK and Commonwealth countries at commemoration events for soldiers killed in conflict, as here at Saint-Symphorien Cemetery in Belgium in 2014. This occasion marked 100 years to the day since British entry into the First World War, after Germany's invasion of Belgium. In 2017, the couple returned to Belgium to visit the Commonwealth war graves in Ypres. Another First World War centenary commemoration. It was 100 years since the start of the Battle of Passchendaele.
All on board, sir.
William's military experience has influenced his charitable activities, highlighting the importance of the armed forces and the welfare of those who have served.
You got the money in the poppy set.
Come on, let's go.
these people didn't have to come. They volunteered to fight for king and country, in the full knowledge that many would never make it home again. As one of the inheritors of that great military tradition, I understand how much we owe to these men and women. Today's ceremony would not be complete without remembering their sacrifice. Over the past 7 decades, the Windrush generation's role in the fabric of our national life has been immense.
After completing 7.5 years in full-time military service, William took his helicopter flying skills to East Anglia, where he worked as an air ambulance pilot from 2015 until 2017.
You've done your training. Are you mentally prepared for some of the things that you'll have to face, those difficult and traumatic things that you'll come across in this job?
I think nothing ever prepares you that well for what you're going to see and some of the incidences. But having done search and rescue before, we saw a lot of that already. And when you're working with a team, you help each other out and you talk about it, and you get through it that way. And so it's very important to talk about it. There's a lot being done by the royal family around the country, and I hope to still be a part of that and do as much as I can, but equally do something that I think is incredibly important and that will prove me hopefully in good stead for the future.
Shortly after leaving the air ambulance service, William spoke powerfully at a conference on mental health and policing about the impact his experiences had had on him.
Over the past 2 years, I worked with the East Anglian Air Ambulance alongside the police and other emergency services. My team was frequently tasked to help people in extreme distress. And I know I was not alone in being affected by some of the calls I attended. One of my first call-outs was to a young man who had taken his own life. Looking at the statistics, I was astounded by how prevalent this was. Suicide is the biggest killer of young men in this country. Not cancer, not knife crime, or road deaths, but suicide. This had a big impact on me.
In the same year, Prince William led the Heads Together mental health campaign, alongside Catherine and Prince Harry, leading a group of 8 mental health charities.
What we've seen firsthand is that the simple act of having a conversation about mental health, that initial breaking of the silence, can make a real difference. But as you here today know, starting a conversation is just that.
Millie's looking very relaxed. Don't get up, Millie. Don't get up. You just chill there. Come in one hand now.
You just sit and cuddle, yeah.
William and Catherine have inherited the royal family's love of and concern for the natural world, with the Prince of Wales being patron of several conservation charities. In 2020, Prince William launched the annual Earthshot Prize, an initiative to find and reward innovative solutions to combat climate change. William has also inherited his mother's passion for supporting homeless people and combating poverty. Princess Diana was patron of Centrepoint and used to take both William and Harry on visits to the charity's homeless shelters.
Sorry if you waited for lunch. We were talking too much, as usual.
In 2005, William became patron of the charity, and he and Catherine have visited Centrepoint on many occasions to highlight their work and seek an end to homelessness. Prince William, like Princess Diana before him, supports The Passage, which aims to transform the lives of those who have experienced homelessness. William became patron of the charity in 2019. The Prince and Princess of Wales' work in this area also includes accommodation which is unfit for habitation. William addressed Blackpool's housing problems on a visit to the seaside resort town in 2019.
And a unique problem has also risen as a result of falling demand for tourist accommodation, which has created an oversupply that the council now perceive to be extremely low quality private rented accommodation.
Thankfully, this visit also highlighted the work being done locally to buy and refurbish dilapidated properties to improve the lives of people living in the most deprived neighbourhoods. The Prince and Princess of Wales are known for their love of sport, and, in conjunction with their charity work, they are patrons of various sporting bodies. Prince William has a clear passion for football and is a fan of Aston Villa. This visit to Villa Park in 2017 was to see the Coach Corps programme, boosting prospects for young adults. William became president of the Football Association in 2006, and he shows a keen interest in the England national football teams, regularly visiting them at training sessions close to major tournaments, and occasionally giving the team his children's advice, like Prince Louis's suggestion to England's Euro 2024 squad.
The best bit of advice I got to ask you was to eat twice the amount you normally would eat. So I then had visions of all of you running around like massive great tummies and loads of stitches on the pitch. So I think maybe take my youngest kind of advice at the British Salt, looking around the physio team.
In addition to English football, William is also patron of the Welsh Rugby Union, which makes their Six Nations Championship fixtures against England interesting, as Catherine is patron of the Rugby Football Union, the governing body for the sport in England. She is also the patron of the Rugby Football League, the governing body for the 13-a-side code of rugby in England. In 2017, Catherine became patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club, home of the Wimbledon Championships. When Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, stepped down as president of the club in 2021, Catherine took over the role of awarding the Wimbledon singles trophies to the players. The Waleses are an active family. The Prince and Princess of Wales have taken part in a number of sports and continue to dip their oar into new ones, with a clear competitive spirit, something that appears to be shared by their 3 children. Although enthusiastic, Prince William has been much more self-effacing about his talent.
Naturally, I was asked to compete for Team GB in every sport, but sadly Lord Coe said there were London pigeons with more athletic prowess than me. Anyway, to adapt a famous phrase from Sir Steve Redgrave, if you see me in a pair of Speedos by the swimming pool during the Olympics, shoot me.
The Prince of Wales being a little too modest there. In 2004, he was in a pair of Speedos by the swimming pool as a member of the Scottish University's water polo team for matches against Ireland and Wales. He maintains his link with the sport through the English Schools Swimming Association, of which he became patron in 2007. Although, as Prince of Wales, William is often seen supporting the Welsh national rugby union team, he did meet and greet England's World Cup winning players at Buckingham Palace alongside Queen Elizabeth in 2003. He couldn't have known at that point that one of the squad members would later marry into the royal family. His cousin Zara married Mike Tyndall in Edinburgh in July 2011. Catherine was a talented hockey player in her youth. Her skills were still evident on a trip to her old school of St Andrews, where she opened a new hockey pitch. One of the most difficult yet fundamental roles of the monarch, and indeed the royal family, is as a figure of reassurance in the aftermath of disasters. One of the biggest regrets Queen Elizabeth II had during her reign was delaying her visit to the Welsh village of Aberfan in 1966 after a colliery spoil tip collapsed, killing 116 children and 28 adults. She visited several shocked and bereaved communities throughout her reign, and did so as the country's matriarch, an extended family member taking time to listen to those affected. In June 2017, she visited Red Cross workers, emergency service personnel, and local residents following the Grenfell Tower fire, which killed 72 people, Britain's worst residential fire since the Second World War. Joining Queen Elizabeth on the visit was Prince William, who, like his grandmother, showed his delicate touch and calming presence. Just a couple of weeks earlier, William had visited Manchester Cathedral to meet volunteers and workers who had helped following the terrorist bombing at Manchester Arena. It is not just in the UK that the Prince of Wales has appeared in times of need. In March 2019, the city of Christchurch was the scene of New Zealand's worst ever terror attack. 51 people were killed in 2 consecutive mass shootings at the city's Al Noor Mosque and Linwood Islamic Centre.
Tēnā koutou katoa, mai te whare ariki o te Queenie. Assalamu alaikum. And what I've known of New Zealanders from the earliest moments of my life is that you are people who look out to the world with optimism. You have a famous strength of character. You have a warm-hearted interest about cultures, religion, and people thousands of miles from your shores. You acknowledge, debate, and grapple with your own cultural history in a way that has no real parallel in any other nation.
The Prince and Princess of Wales visited this Ukrainian cultural centre in London in March 2022, just 2 weeks after Russia invaded Ukraine, to see volunteers packing boxes of aid for transport to their home country. The year 2020 saw a global health crisis and worldwide disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. As many people were forced to make sudden and wide-ranging changes in every aspect of their lives, health workers, emergency responders, teachers, and many other key workers kept their communities and their countries going, maintaining the most basic and essential services. In December of that year, Prince William and Princess Catherine toured Great Britain on the royal train, meeting just some of these everyday heroes. At the height of the pandemic, they had undertaken their engagements by video call, including hosting a game of bingo for residents of a care home in Cardiff. William and Catherine got to visit that care home in person when restrictions were relaxed in August, and they met one very unimpressed bingo player.
Do you remember we came, you might not recognise the faces, but we did the bingo with you?
Yes.
You won?
Yes.
Yeah. But you said we didn't do a very good job. Excellent.
What did you have to do then?
Was it that bad? No. Was it the worst job you've ever seen?
Well, I got more to see.
Right.
Every time you have a party, I'll just come and have a note, and I'll tell you afterwards.
You tell us the truth. It'd be good to have you around.
Charles III became King of the United Kingdom in September 2022, with William and Catherine created Prince and Princess of Wales. Charles was the oldest person to succeed to the British throne, and William and Catherine played a more prominent role to keep the royals modern and relevant. Since Charles's accession and coronation, life has come at the royal family fast. Few people can have seen both their wife and their father diagnosed with cancer so close together. Catherine's public announcement came in March 2024, just over 6 weeks after King Charles's own cancer revelation. Prince William's attention turned to looking after his wife and young family, with many of his engagements postponed. Even with Charles and Catherine's health improving sufficiently to return to work, adjustments have to be made for their health, with William taking on a greater share of the work. Charles's reign has differed from Elizabeth's in his less formal engagement and conversations with the public, something which is sure to continue with William. Similarly, Charles has taken a more hands-on approach to charity and community projects. William is also keen to roll up his sleeves and get involved with the less glamorous, less photogenic side of the issues which matter to him. The monarch of the United Kingdom is also the supreme governor of the Church of England. Whilst Charles is a strong Anglican Christian, William does not share his father's deep interest in faith, although he does display an obvious respect for religious traditions. This perhaps reflects a wider trend of a more multi-faith yet increasingly secular modern Britain. Conversations about the role of monarchy in the 21st century have become more prominent, with some Commonwealth realms considering a future without the royal family. Barbados became a republic in 2021. Australia's and Jamaica's governments have also spoken about referendums on their country's constitutional futures. William is fully aware of this, not least during his and Catherine's contentious visit to the Caribbean in March 2022. Towards the end of that tour, William said this about the Commonwealth Caribbean.
I want to say this. We support with pride and respect your decisions about your future. Relationships evolve, friendship endures.
The Wales family have gone through many of the ups and downs experienced by most families, and done so with an admirable fortitude and a lightness of touch. As the future King and Queen, the challenge for William and Catherine is to keep the monarchy relevant deep into the 21st century. That challenge is likely to be met with a more impactful approach to make positive societal changes in their public service. Less ribbon cutting, more breaking ground. Less suit and tie, more common touch, from the couple who will become Britain's first millennial monarch and consort. It's an approach which is likely to receive public approval, much as the couple have already done as Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and as Prince and Princess of Wales.
And remember, go and sign up for a 14-day free trial with MyHeritage Now using the link in the description below.